Ladies and gentlemen, Kirk Cousins is a free agent and everybody wants to know where he's going. If you didn't already know, or if you live in a cave, Alex Smith traded the Redskins for a third-round pick in Kendall Fuller, and they gave him a max deal that they would not give Kirk Cousins. Very interesting. But where will Kirk Cousins land is the big question. I got possible destinations up on the screen here. We're going to eliminate them one by one until we get to the most likely landing spot, in my opinion. So, who are we going to get rid of first? I'm gonna drop the Minnesota Vikings. You know, they are a quarterback away, maybe Kirk Cousins away from being a Super Bowl winner, contender. In most people's opinion, even though the defense let them down in the NFC Championship game. But the question is, are they going to want a Kirk Cousins type quarterback? Maybe, but they kind of been going with the game manager type quarterback in the past. Kirk Cousins maybe he can be a game manager, but that's going to change his game. He's more of a, he shows elite flashes at one point, and then, he really could cost the game with the bad interception, but overall he's a good quarterback. But the main thing why I'm getting rid of the Vikings is because is Big Rick really going to spend that much money? This guy doesn't really like to dish out that much money. The highest paid player in the NFL we're talking about here for Kirk Cousins. He's not going to give out that money. Yeah, they have a lot of cap space for a solid team, but they got to pay some other guys they have currently under contract, but only for one more year, like Anthony Barr. So I don't know. I don't see them paying a lot of money for anybody. It is possible, but I think they may rather go with Keenum or Teddy Bridgewater there, or possibly draft one. So that's why I got rid of the Vikings first. Next, I'm gonna get rid of the Jags. Now, the Jags were a team that was maybe number one on this list at one point, but they go to the AFC Championship with Blake Bortles. He's still under contract. There's some talk that they can cut him to gain extra cap space. I don't think that's the case. It sounds like they want him to be their quarterback. He was supposedly playing with an injury this last year. So I think Blake Bortles would be their quarterback. I don't think they spend the money for Kirk Cousins. If they had a ridiculous amount of space, maybe. But that's why I'm getting rid of the Jags. Now, these teams are all very likely, all pretty close in odds, I'd say. But next, I'm going to get rid of the Browns. Although they have a ridiculous amount of cap space, really what it comes down to is who wants to play for the Browns. That's pretty sad to say, but it's true. They could offer the most money out of all these teams possibly. So will Kirk Cousins chase the money? I don't know. I think he, for the same price or a little less, may rather go to one of these other teams. So that's why the Browns are out of here. Next is a toss-up. Really, these are the main four teams I'm really looking at. I guess you can add the Browns, like I said, in there too. 5 teams I'm really looking at. But next, I'm going to get rid of the Cardinals. Even though the Cardinals could be they could be a playoff contender with Kirk Cousins. But Bruce Arians gone. Does Kirk Cousins really want to go in there? Are they going to push hard for him? Maybe there's not too many weapons there. David Johnson, a solid running back. Larry Fitzgerald getting up there in age. Decent weapons, but nothing really good. Cardinals are in a weird spot. Decent team, but I don't think they're really going to contend. I think they could possibly make the playoffs with Kirk Cousins, but Bruce Arians being gone, I think, is the main reason I'm getting rid of them next. So then next, we got 3 teams left. We got Broncos, Jets, and Bills. I like these 3 teams. I like the fit between Kirk Cousins and the teams. I'm gonna get rid of the Bills next, even though I would like him to go there. That would be a good spot. I think why I'm getting rid of them next is because they still have 2 quarterbacks there. They got Tyrod Taylor and Nathan Peterman. Obviously, they don't really like Tyrod Taylor that much. Because they benched him for Nathan Peterman, and obviously Nathan Peterman isn't the quarterback of the future, so that's the case for Kirk Cousins there, and they were already a playoff team. They'd be much better with Kirk Cousins, so that's another good reason why he could go there. But again, they got 2 quarterbacks, really just splitting hairs here, trying to figure out who's the most likely out of the Broncos, Jets, and the Bills, and that's the reason I'm getting rid of the Bills. So we got 2 teams left. Really hard to eliminate the next team. I think all season, this last season, I was expecting him to go to the Broncos. I was very confident he was going to go to the Broncos. But it seems like the Jets are a very likely destination, good fit. They have the cap room. Let's pull the cap. What's the cap space looking like? Let's pull it up on the screen here. There's the top teams. Obviously, the Redskins are going to go down because they just gave Alex Smith a big contract. The Broncos are not far behind the bottom there with behind the Bengals, and I think the Saints would be next up there. But you see the Jets are fourth with cap room, so they can offer them a lot of money. Broncos may cut Emmanuel Sanders or Demaryius Thomas, but that'll just weaken the chances of getting Kirk Cousins, in my opinion, but they could offer more money. So the Jets being up there and 4 and him being a fit there is legit chance he can go to the Jets. Do they have the tools for him though? Do they got the receivers, the running backs? They need to draft well if they get Kirk Cousins. But we'll look at the Browns. The Browns second. The Browns are second in cap space. Maybe we should bring the Browns back up here. I don't know. All that cap room, they can make him by far the highest paid player. I think he will be anyways. But they really can do something here. They really can make him an offer that he can't resist. And with the first and the fourth pick in the draft too, would you rather get a quarterback that might be good or get Kirk Cousins in there and then draft playmakers for him with 1 and 4, either on offense or defense to make the team better? Obviously, the Browns would love this. Obviously. Main reason being Hugh Jackman over there, or rather Hugh Jackson, he's got to have 1 year left. Unless he does good, he's staying. If he does bad, he's got to be fired. We expected him fired this last season, and he didn't get fired, so he's got one more chance. As you want to get a rookie quarterback in there and develop him and lose another year and get fired? No, he doesn't want that. Really, it's not up to him. It's mainly up to the GM over there, but you know what he wants. He wants to get Kirk Cousins in there and draft these players that can play now and help them now, and maybe the Browns could be solid. Maybe. It's pretty obvious. I'm not Hugh Jackman. I don't want Hugh Jackman up there anymore. It's pretty obvious that the Browns would want that. But I honestly think it's between the Broncos and the Jets. The Jets being more, they have more cap space, makes you want to pick the Jets. But during the year, I just been my gut feeling that it would end up a Bronco. You see Von Miller's pushing for him. So I'm going to go with the Broncos. I think he ends up a Denver Bronco. They would be a playoff contender, I think. They would be a good team. Got to keep that defense in line. It's starting to go on the decline, so that they're able to draft with the 5th pick. It's funny how the Broncos have the 5th pick and the Jets have the 6th pick. And that's the two teams we're talking about, though. But the Broncos' cap situation's tough. Not going to be able to do too much in free agency. They're supposedly wanting to trade Aqib Talib, but I don't know if anybody's going to be takers because they might cut him anyway, so that can clear some space. So with the 5th pick, they can get him a playmaker. They can get a defense player to beef that defense back up to where it was just 2 years ago. They're capable of being an elite defense still, but it took a little dive this year. Not by a lot, but yeah, I think with Kirk Cousins, they would be solid. 29 years old, healthy quarterback, going to be 30 soon though, but still that you don't see a free agent like this. That's why I actually think after thinking about it a lot, I think he's worth the money. Talking about highest paid player in the NFL, I think it makes sense. Do I think he's anywhere near the best player in the NFL? No, but that's just how it works. He's the best quarterback free agent this year with how many teams desperate for a quarterback. Everyone's getting paid more and more money each year. You just don't see a free agent like this. Bottom line, you don't see a free agent like this all the time. Stafford's the highest paid quarterback. He's not far off from him. So I think he'll make it the Broncos or some of these other teams, good teams. Bills, Cardinals would be playoff teams. The Vikings and the Jags would be Super Bowl contenders. So I think he's worth it. But again, I don't think he's the best. That doesn't mean I think he's the best player in the league. So makes sense to me. At first, I was a little scared about somebody making him the highest paid player, but it makes sense. It makes sense. Do you want to take a quarterback that you got to develop? You got to take time to develop, and he might not be good, and you're trying to win now. A team like the Broncos are trying to win now. It doesn't make any sense. Go and get this guy, pay him the money, figure it out. Don't want to spend all your money on one guy, though. That's the tough part. But that's what I got. I got the Broncos getting them, but it could be any of those teams that I put up on the board there. So, yeah, that's Frogs Angels free agency. Kirk Cousins take. We're going to be doing this on a bunch of top free agents starting next Tuesday. If you watch our Pick'ems videos, we got myself and 2 other guys. They're going to be joining back, and we're going to discuss top free agents. We got mock drafts. We got all kinds of stuff covering the draft, offseason, everything. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. Please check it all out. Please click that damn subscribe button, and that'll do it. Goodbye.